Oh man, am I on a roll when it comes to testing smart locks. In my last video, I tested the ThorBolt X1 Smart Lock, and that lock was damn near perfect. I really loved it, so much so that I didn't want to get rid of it. But now, as a YouTuber, I've got to move on, and I'm moving on to the Lockin Veno lock. Did it beat out the ThorBolt? Let's find out. What up everybody, George Langabeer here. Today we are talking about the Lockin Veno Smart Lock. And the star of the show is the palm vein technology, meaning you use your palm vein to unlock your door. You also have a fingerprint reader, passcodes, some other traditional methods to use a smart lock, but the palm vein is front and center. I want to thank Lockin for sending me this lock. This is not a sponsored video. They just sent it to me to try out, but I hope you know by now that I promise you I'm always going to tell you like it is. And I'm going to tell you all about this lock. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about setup and install. I'm going to talk about price and specs. I'm going to talk about the Lockin app, and I'm going to give you my full review, pros and cons. Let's get started with the unboxing. Here we go. Here is the Veno palm vein smart lock. You can see that it's compatible with pretty much every smart home platform known to man, which is awesome. Let's get the box open. Got some instructions. We've got the quick start guide in various languages. We've got the exterior part of the lock. We've got the keypad, the fingerprint reader, and in this case, a doorbell. It's a good looking lock. Feels pretty premium. Got your connectors, the interior part of the door lock, and your mounting bracket that goes on the interior part of the door. And you've got your latch. And inside you've got your battery compartment. We've got this box full of hardware. Those are the 3 mounting screws for the lock itself. There's your bolt with your connector that plugs into the lock. Your strike plates. Now it's very important that you use that strike plate on the door frame of your door, because otherwise this lock will not calibrate properly. Some screws. Some more screws, those are for your strike plates. Those are the actual bolt screws for the lock. This is your rechargeable battery. Lockin claims up to 7 months of battery life. There we go. All right, let's talk about setup and install. As far as setup, you're going to get yourself the Lockin app, sign up for an account, then the app walks you through it step by step, including detailed installation instructions. This is do-it-yourself installation. You can have it done in under 15 minutes. I had it done in under 5 minutes. Now, if you've done smart locks before, you know that sometimes you can get away with keeping bits and pieces of your existing door setup. With this lock, I recommend using everything they send you, including this little part of your door that I'm showing you right here. You know, a lot of times you can just keep the one you had. I would replace that because otherwise this lock is not going to work properly, especially during the calibration process. So please keep that in mind, but use everything they send you. In this case, it's there for a purpose. All right, talking price and specs. This lock is normally $249.99, but check in the description of this video for the affiliate link if you're interested in purchasing. Check the current price. For example, at the time of this recording, there's a $60 coupon on Amazon, which makes this lock $189.99. As far as specs, this lock has a 0.17 second unlock with the Veno key palm vein technology, again, using your palm vein, but that is lightning fast. And that palm vein technology works with dirty hands, wet hands, long nails, short nails, all sorts of different conditions on your hand. Doesn't really matter because it uses your palm vein. And that makes this lock great for adults, children, seniors, you name it. And that palm vein technology relies on subdermal vein patterns, which makes it very hard to duplicate, which makes your lock more secure. You also have an auto lock feature, so the lock will lock behind you if you forget. Lockin claims that this lock has a 7-month battery life. Now, I have not been able to test it because I haven't had the lock that long, but it is also compatible with their solar panel. Now, I live in an apartment, so I couldn't use that, so I tested it with battery only. This lock is Matter over Thread, as long as you have a compatible Thread border router, which is awesome because that makes it compatible with pretty much any smart home platform, definitely your favorites like Google, Lady A from Amazon, and Apple Home. It has built-in Wi-Fi, so there's no need for an extra hub, and that's your 2.4 gigahertz network. And not only does this lock have the palm vein to unlock, but it also has a fingerprint reader, and you can do the passcodes, and so you can have whole family access and set up for different users, and you can do the palm vein, the fingerprints, the passcodes, or all the above for each user. Now, Lockin also makes the Veno Plus, which has a video doorbell built in. Now, the Veno, which is the one I'm testing, does not have the video doorbell, but it does have a doorbell button, which makes this lock unique. All right, now that we've talked price and specs, let's talk about using this lock with the Lockin app. Here we go. There's my home screen. You can see my door lock there. You can see the status locked, my battery level, and then it's connected to Wi-Fi. Got the lock or unlock icon on the right. Down below, you can see devices. So if you have multiple devices, it'll be listed here. Events, that's a log of every time I've used the lock. Profile, that's just some information about my Lockin account. Let's go back to devices and let's click on the lock. Here we go. You can see the status again, locked or unlocked, that it's connected to Wi-Fi, that I've got a 71% battery level. Now, keep in mind, I've been testing this for a couple of weeks, so I've been burning through the battery a little bit more than a normal user will, so keep that in mind. Manage access. Here's my users. I got myself, Teresa, my wife, Delaney, my daughter. You can set up the palm vein, fingerprint, and passcode here in users, and you can create basically as many as you want. Temporary password, if you had an Airbnb or something like that, that's what that's for. You can set up a temporary passcode, and that's great. Rich notifications, your door lock settings. You've got one-touch locking, so you can just press the lock button on the keypad to lock it. Palm vein unlocking, you can toggle that on and off. Auto wake up with palm vein, so when you put your hand up, it'll automatically wake up the lock. And then you've got vacation security. Then we've got auto lock, and you can change the duration. You've got at once, 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 180 seconds. So that's the lock locking behind you if you forget. You've got your audio settings. This lock will talk to you. It'll tell you if it's locked or unlocked, that kind of thing. It'll give you instructions if you're too far away. So you can control all of that as far as the audio, including the doorbell volume, because again, this does have a doorbell button. You can recalibrate the deadbolt if you need to. This is where you've got your Matter integration and your Matter code, as far as adding it to your smart home platform of choice. Some device information, some FAQs, help us improve user privacy and agreement. So that's the Lockin app. Let's check it out in the Apple Home app. Now, this does not have Apple Home Key. Apple Home Key is where you walk up to the door and unlock it with your watch or your phone, but it is compatible with Apple Home in general. So let's go to the lock. So basically, you've just got lock and unlock, and you can use SIRI to use your door. So pretty straightforward. There you can see your settings, add to home view, include it in your favorites, manage access. You can do access codes in the home app if you want to, set up different automations, but that's it. Pretty basic, but it's awesome that it's there. All right, let's move on to my review. What do I think of the Lockin Veno? Pros and cons? Let's start with the pros. This thing is lightning fast and very accurate. And I'm talking about the palm vein and the fingerprint. They say 0.17 second unlock, and I didn't actually count that, but I would say that's pretty accurate because, man, it is lightning fast, both for the palm vein and the fingerprint, like I said. Another pro would be the 7-month battery life. That's pretty awesome if it's accurate. Not quite as much as the ThorBolt X1 that I tested, but still pretty damn good if it's true. Matter over Thread. I'm going to call that a big time pro. Now, for the ThorBolt X1 review, I told you that I never had faith in Thread. I wasn't a fan. I thought it was completely overhyped. I always had problems with my Thread devices until these two locks came along. And no different here. Man, they're so lightning fast and so accurate, and I think that's thanks to Thread. So I think these locks are restoring my faith. It's awesome that we got the flexibility of the fingerprint, the palm vein, and the passcodes. Now this lock is a little large, but it's still a pretty damn good looking lock, and it feels pretty premium. And it's also kind of cool that this lock has a doorbell button. And it's pretty loud. Definitely could be used in a larger home. Definitely no problem here in my apartment. I can hear it in every room. Moving on to the cons, and I hope you know that I 100% promise you that I will always tell it like it is. Sponsored video, product sent to me, whatever it is, I will tell you like it is, but I'm having trouble with cons on this lock. It's damn near flawless, just like the ThorBolt X1. And what a wonderful problem to have. I suppose if I were to nitpick again, just like the ThorBolt X1, the auto lock feature where it locks behind you, you can only set that to 3 minutes. Now that is awesome for security because you want your lock to be locked. But for me personally, for convenience, I live in this apartment. Sometimes I'm just taking the trash out or the recycling, or I'm going down to get a package, and I don't necessarily want my lock to lock that quickly. So again, not a bad problem to have, but just for the convenience factor, I guess I'll call that a con. Also, compared to the ThorBolt X1, this lock does not have Apple HomeKey. However, compared to the ThorBolt X1, this one has the palm vein, which totally makes up for it. And me personally, when these locks have facial recognition, palm vein, or fingerprint, I could care less if a lock has Apple HomeKey. I'm not using my watch, I'm not using my phone, I'm using the fingerprint mostly until this lock. I'm really using that palm vein a lot because it is lightning quick. So if you're obsessed with Apple HomeKey, it's a con, but it's really not a con anymore for me. So to go along with that, I will say this. If you're a fan of Apple HomeKey, buy the ThorBolt X1. If you're a fan of the palm vein, or you could care less about Apple HomeKey, get the Veno. Because this lock is damn near flawless, like I said. It's got some awesome features, and everything is lightning fast and accurate. All right, there you go. That's my review of the Lockin Veno. What do you think? Have you tried any Lockin products? I'd love to know about your experience in the comments. Have you ever tried a palm vein lock? What do you think of that technology? What is your favorite? Palm vein, Apple HomeKey, facial recognition, fingerprint, or just straight up passcodes? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you being here very much. I very much appreciate your support, whether you're a past, present, future subscriber. It all means a lot to me. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next video, peace and love, my friends.